Good morning, everybody. This is Jess Riley with the life insurance team here at Insurance Agency Marketing Services. Hope everybody is doing well this fine Monday morning. Certainly appreciate everybody taking some time to jump on with us here. Going to go over a really unique and interesting product we have available through Unity. It is a funeral trust product, so great for some planning there. And we're going to have our resident expert, Mr. John Inting, going through the presentation with us. So appreciate you jumping on today, John. At first here, folks, we will kind of do our normal housekeeping stuff. For agents that have been working with IAMS, some of this will be information you're familiar with. For some of the other folks here, this is new information, and we'll show you some value and why you would want to work with a company like IAMS. So we will get started here. So first thing we want to hit on is the new producer builders. So these are folks who are new to working with IAMS, whether it be on annuities, life insurance, or long-term care for that matter. We certainly want to incentivize you folks to work with us and give you some really strong rewards as a thank you for doing so. So this is a kind of a graph here that shows the different things we can provide for you based on the levels of production that you hit. So you write a couple of decent annuities there, get to that $100,000 level. You can see the four choices we've got available, which would either be a 1,500-piece postcard mailer, most current iPad, $750 cash, or some pre-formatted emails, a marketing analysis, and then a corporate identity package. Again, that's just for $100,000 of annuity business or $10,000 of life target premium. Not a lot. We have, got a lot of incentives there. If we get up to the $250,000 level, now we're doubling the postcard mailer. So we'll offer a 3,000 piece or a $2,000 marketing reimbursement. Or if you just want to use that money and go play a little bit, we can offer you a $1,500 Visa gift card or some additional marketing, whether that be a newspaper ad, different marketing collateral package there, which would be your brochure, fact finder, lead magnet, etc., or a microsite. It's a landing page to drive traffic to your main website. If you hit the $500,000 level, you can see we really start to bump things up for you there, hitting a 5,000-piece mailer or a 4,000-piece mailer for a Social Security seminar, or you can get a stay at the Ritz-Carlton. Or if you want to do a little more of some of that traditional advertising, we can do billboard ads, seminar presentations, full website, or full website build out or overhaul. You already got a site that just needs updated. We did $750,000. Now we're getting into the Retirement Boss Radio, which gives you 8 recorded shows, a great way to get your message and your name out there. Or we can look at 2 Social Security seminars with guaranteed amount of buying units. We could be doing some 4,500 lead credit for digital annuity leads. Those are usually about 200 to 300 a pop. Or we could do 1 video with the social media campaign. Then you hit the $1 million level. You can see all the great stuff we can offer there. Get published in major news outlets such as ABC, Fox, NBC, etc. Or we could do an 8,000-piece mailer for a dinner workshop. 8 to 10 preset annuity appointments. Again, those are at $200, $300 a pop, or 3 videos, 3 consumer-facing brochures, some custom articles, and special projects on request. So basically, you hit that $1 million mark, we're opening the doors of everything we got there. I think you'll find that those levels you need to hit are a lot lower than they are at some of our competitors here. We really want to incentivize you to give us a look and work with IAMS here, and we think we got a nice set of packages available to do so. We also want to look at the business builders. We know that you folks work with a lot of other folks that are in our industry, and we certainly want to encourage you to send referrals our way. So we have our referred producer program. It should be a one-time bonus when you refer an agent that does get appointed with us with any carrier. You get an additional $100 one-time bonus when that first piece of business is placed by your referral. And then we continue to pay overrides to you on that referral's business into perpetuity, as long as everybody's still licensed and in good standing with us. So you can kind of see the override percentages we pay on that ongoing business. And again, that is IAMS' way of saying thank you for referring producers over to us. We know you guys can work with any IMO you want, and we really want to make sure you know we appreciate your business, and this is one of the ways we can do that. We do also have our marketing reimbursement program. So for every $100,000 of FIA premium that you place, you're going to get $100 into that marketing reimbursement account. If you're writing single premium life, which if you are not, I highly encourage you guys to look at us for this market. Very fast underwriting. We're able to turn pennies into dollars day one as far as tax-free death benefit leverage. So a lot of good products there. So it's a little bit richer there. The $100,000 in single premium life will actually put $200 into your marketing account. And if you're writing more traditional life insurance, you do $10,000 of target life premium. That's also $200 into your marketing account. So some great incentives there for you folks to write business with us and refer some good producers to us as well. We certainly appreciate that. Said it a million times, I'll say it a million more. Back office support is extremely, extremely important in this market, in your business. And so we want to let you guys know and see that we do have the best back office support in the industry. We help you to work smarter, not harder. A variety of ways that we can do that. We have a lot of business building tools and resources available to you. You have case design assistance here with the best sales director in the industry. We do have forms at your fingertips through the IAMS website, so you can get access to any application that you need and almost all the marketing materials that you would need as well. And then that submission to commission support, basically from the time an application hits our door until you are paid on it, you have a dedicated team at IAMS that's helping push that through the process and making sure everything goes as smoothly as possible for both you and for your client. We have life and annuity quoting systems on our website. And then, of course, the electronic contracting and the top sales expertise and coaching out there. Again, we have a great team of sales directors here, and our whole job is to help and support you folks out in the field. One of the ways we do that, more specific to the annuity side of the business, is incorporating the Firelight platform. This is your ability to do electronic applications on the annuity side. It's a great tool. If you have not registered for Firelight Access, I encourage you to do that as soon as this presentation is done. And that's all done through the IAMS website. Of course, if you have questions on that, you can always feel free to call us at the toll-free number you see at the bottom of the screen there. And kind of looking at the carriers that we do have available on the Firelight side, here's the list that we currently have. As you can see, most of the main players in the annuity space are going to be subscribers to that platform. We do have a few more that are coming, just kind of trying to get those shored up and make sure the technology is all integrated with their applications. So we'll be seeing some more carriers coming soon, but a great list there. What I would tell you specific to the life insurance side, we use iPipeline in their iGo eApp process, which is also available through our website. A large majority of the carriers can be quoted and submitted through the site. So I encourage you to jump on there if you are more of a life insurance producer and look around a little bit as well. Then I also want to hit on the creative solutions. We have an outstanding creative team here, help our advisors in a lot of different ways, from some of the most basic marketing all the way up to really detailed digital marketing solutions. We can help you with all that. So just kind of a look at some of the things we can do. We have turnkey solutions, which obviously, you hear that term a lot, but true ready to print, newsletters, postcards, handouts, flyers. All we have to do is put your logo and your agency name on there and it's yours. We have a ton of that stuff. If you are an agency, we have a lot of customizable branding materials. So we can help with things like logo design, getting the right type of business card, your stationery, all those things that make your agency look like an agency. Good, professional, strong marketing support is what we provide, and we help with a lot of those agency building type of solutions. And then last but certainly not least in our world right now, the digital solutions. People more and more are shopping and getting their information online, which means you guys have to have a digital presence as well. And we can certainly support you in that in a lot of ways, whether that's developing or updating a website, you're, talking to you about your digital marketing strategies, helping with social media and ways to maximize what you're doing on places like LinkedIn, e-marketing, online newsletters. We can help with all of those things. Back to the website again, which is something I hope that you folks are taking advantage of. We have a ton of tools on there, and to be quite honest, a lot of agents aren't aware of all of them. We have Term Quoter, a GUL quoter out there. We have forms access for almost all carriers on our website. We have life and annuity resources where you can look at all the available products we have and get the specifications on those, issue ages, minimum premiums, etc. So I definitely encourage you to look there. And we also have essentially an advanced marketing portal. So if you're looking online, make sure you're checking out the sales tools there. It's a sales resource library. A lot of great stuff in there that a lot of our agents are not aware exists. Highly encourage you to check that out. I also want to highlight that we do offer the Retirement Analyzer software. It's a great program I'm sure most of you are familiar with. I think the easiest way to describe what this software does is it takes a client's retirement plan out of their head and puts it to the test. We all have an idea of where we think we'll be in retirement, but very few of us actually run the calculations to make sure that we're saving properly and in the right type of vehicles. And this software does a great job of helping highlight that, and then also highlight some areas where we may need to make some changes or improvements. So we do have the Retirement Analyzer software. You also want to make sure that you all are aware that we have a wealth management team here. So if you do work in the AUM side of the business, I would encourage you to talk to our team there. They've got a lot of great resources that you might want to consider partnering up with. If you are not licensed to work in the AUM space, you still want to talk to these folks. We have scenarios structured where we can help your clients with their managed money without letting them go down the road and look for advice on that side of the house at another advisor's office. And there are some incentives in there for you as the advisor as well to refer those clients over. Obviously, if you're working in the AUM side, that can increase your revenue if you do have the proper licenses. It definitely helps with client retention, so they don't have to go to another advisor looking for that investment portfolio advice. And then it strengthens a relationship because they are viewing you now as someone who can help not only on the insurance side, but also in the investment side, and they are looking at you more as a fiduciary, which is a great thing. Also, a couple of the great incentives that we've got going on. This is the biggie. This is our Top Producer Summit, which will be taking place next summer. You can see the qualification period runs from December of 2020 all the way through June of 2022. We give you guys a lot of time to be able to qualify for this. This is a great trip. Mediterranean cruise, as you can see, it kicks off in Rome, and then we end up in Venice, Italy. Really a great opportunity. I want to encourage you guys to go for that. This is going to be a really great experience, and we're excited to get our top producers on this cruise with us. If you do write annuities and you do write Athene annuities, certainly want to make sure that you're looking at this information here. They're doing a promotion where they're taking a select group of agents down to Hilton Head Island in South Carolina, be doing some great golfing and team building things down there, meeting with some other advisors and sharing some great tips and secrets. So want to make sure that you're aware of that. That's a $2 million qualification period to get there, and that runs through December of this year. So if you're an annuity writer, make sure and ask your sales director about Athene. Last but certainly not least on the housekeeping, Life and Annuity Academies. We've got them back up and running. We are only going to be able to do one for the balance of this year. That is full. There's been a lot of demand on that, but we are making plans for the first quarter of next year on some ongoing training academies. So if you have some interest there, make sure and let us know, and we can start getting you on those lists for those first quarter trainings. And then also make sure the socials, make sure you follow and like us on Facebook and LinkedIn. We're putting a lot of great content out there for you guys, a lot of materials pushed out that way. So make sure you're following the IAMS pages on those platforms, and we'll be having the latest and greatest out there for you. And of course, if there are any questions on anything else that are related to IAMS that we can help you with, please feel free to give us a call at the toll-free number here. That is 800-255-5055. So that is the housekeeping stuff. Now we get to the fun part. As I'd mentioned earlier, we have Mr. John Enting from Enting Financial on board with us here. He's going to be talking about Unity Financial, specifically about their funeral trust product. Great opportunity here, folks. There's a lot of ways to help clients with this product and obviously help your bottom line as well. And so we certainly want to make sure that you pay good attention to Mr. Enting. He's going to provide you some great information. John, I have sent the controls over to you. So you are off and ready to roll, my friend.
Perfect. So let's see if we can actually get this to get moving here. There we go.
There you go.
All right. Well, good morning, everybody, or I should say at this point, we're getting close to afternoon, but thank you for taking your time out on this Monday to join us and learn a little bit more about Unity Financial. The first thing I like to say to everybody is I am an advisor. I am in the field. I'm not a home office guy. I don't work for IAMS. And I think that's important because I can give you the perspective of actually how we use this product with our clients and how the successes that we've had using it. So as we move through today, some of the things that we're going to cover, we're going to talk about why we use Unity Financial, talk about the opportunity that exists in the marketplace today, the trust that they provide to give us some protection of assets, the product that we use to fund the trust, and then I'll give you some presentation ideas and tools that you can use immediately to start using this with your current clients and with your future clients as well. So I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and just take a look at this. Why Unity Financial? They've got great financial strength. They are B++ rated, but I will say one thing about the company. This is what they focus on. They're not doing 8 other different lines of business. They are in this marketplace and they are a player in the marketplace. The company is family owned and operated. They offer the Irrevocable Funeral Trust and Estate Planning Trust. Guarantee issue for the product, so no health questions. No one's going to get turned down. You're going to love the application. It's simple, fast, and easy, just like we say here. And then for today's purposes, just to keep everything moving along, I'm going to talk about single premium only. That's all we do here at Enting Financial Services, but I know there are other agents out in the field who like to do some of the pay plans, and you can certainly do that. We'll talk about using 1035 exchange funds to fund the program. And of course, everybody likes to talk about, how we're going to get paid for doing this business. So the financial stability, I just want to give you a quick overview here. So when you're doing business with Unity that actually they're a strong, well-run organization. That's why we've hitched our wagon to them and they've not let us down, that's for sure. So here's their assets, their liabilities, their surplus. Just let you guys look through those numbers quickly, and then we can get on to the good stuff. So we all know we're in the planning business, and if we don't help our clients plan, a lot of them just simply aren't going to get anything done. And of course, we all have the things that might happen, and you can see there's on the left side, we may have a car accident, our house might burn down, maybe somebody will get married in the family. But the one thing that we know for sure is that at some point we're going to pass away. At some point your clients are going to pass away. And someone has to do this planning for them. And so there's really 2 options. There's either, the deceased doing it prior to their death, or it's left to the survivors afterwards to take care of it. And just a quick story on me, I'm the youngest of 5 kids. My mom and dad divorced when I was 2 years old, so I was never super close with my dad, but I've always been the entrepreneur of the family. So if anything goes on, good or bad, usually, my phone will ring to either get my opinion or whatever they're needing at that particular moment. And that was no different on January 21st of 2011. I got a call from my sister telling me that my dad had actually passed away. And then what happened was the next day I found myself sitting in a funeral director's office, and he was asking me all kinds of questions. What was my dad's mother's maiden name? What was his highest rank in the military? His favorite flower? You know, I didn't have any of this information for my dad. What it did make me realize was that all this planning that we had been doing for our clients had a lot of value, because our clients' spouses and kids weren't going through what I was going through, because they already had their plan in place and it was there for when they passed away. So when someone passes away, again, it's a hard thing to talk about, but you need to bring this up with your clients and ask them a simple question. You know, have you pre-planned your funeral? Have you prepaid your funeral? And listen to the answer, because there's really only two ways to do it. They can go to a funeral home, that's the pre-need side. They can go in there, pick out their casket, you know, all that stuff. Um, or they can get a plan through our side of the fence, which would be the final expense side, and that's where Unity Life is going to come into play. What's interesting is most of your clients have no idea how much a funeral even costs. You know, we'll ask our clients, hey, you know, how much do you think a funeral costs? And then we'll hear answers anywhere from, you know, $8,000 to $20,000. And the reality is the average right now is around $15,500. And then we also are hearing more in this marketplace that, well, I'm not going to have a traditional funeral. I'm just going to get cremated. Well, once you have the cremation and the services and everything, you're still up around $8,000 if you're going to give good advice to a client on how much they should set aside for that particular cost. So if you ask a client, you know, if something happened to you yesterday, how would your funeral be paid for today? And listen to the answer, because they're going to tell you which direction you need to go. If they say, well, we own a paid up life insurance policy and that's what we're using, we'll show you how you can get them to 1035 exchange that money over into the plan. Maybe they have a CD at the bank that their daughter knows that that's to be used for their funeral. We're going to show them how to get it off of that countable side for Medicaid spend down and get it over to the non-countable side. So they did a national survey. I thought this was interesting. They said 72% of the people thought it was a good idea to do the pre-planning, but 64% of those people had not taken the steps to do so. And one thing we know, your clients aren't any different than ours. We're all working in the same marketplace. And our opinion on that is, we don't believe a husband and wife wake up on a beautiful Monday morning like it is here in Columbus, Ohio today, and look at each other and say, honey, let's go down and pick out our caskets. It's typically not going to be done, because the human mind can only think about its own demise for about 11 seconds, and then it moves on to the next thing. So we have the ability to help them get that planning done without them ever going in to a funeral home to pick out a casket. And that's really where you're going to come into play. One of the things I love about our marketplace is that from 2010 until 2025, 80 million people were expected to file for Social Security benefits. That means when we get to 2025, there's going to be twice as many seniors in the marketplace as there were in 2010. That is one heck of a prospect base that's been being built for us over these last 10 to 15 years. So if we've got the right products, we understand them, and we're good at helping people plan, we can have a lot of successes with those numbers. Now, when we talk to our clients about this, a lot of times we'll start this whole conversation talking about long-term care. And we'll point out to them the facts. You know, 69% of all Americans older than 65 are going to need some type of nursing care. We'll point out the cost of that care to our clients. And then we'll let them know that many of those people who need long-term care, they're going to have to qualify for Medicaid because they didn't do any planning for long-term care. I think it's 93% of all Americans have no long-term care insurance at all. So what we're going to do is show them some ways where if you don't own the long-term care insurance and at some point you need care, how can we help you protect some dollars so they won't go to the nursing home, and that they can actually be used for your final expenses, or if you're looking to pass some assets on, we can show you how to pass assets on and protect those from the nursing home as well. So how it all fits together, we're going to use life insurance with the advantages of that irrevocable funeral trust. We're going to show them how to set that money aside today, and they're going to set it aside permanently so that it'll be there when their family needs it most at their death. And then by using that trust to hold the funds, essentially we're spending the money down. What do I mean by that? That means it's going to be 100% protected from a nursing home in the event that those clients would need care, and it'll help prevent them from being counted as assets during a Medicaid consideration. So again, a lot of good things that happen with this program, and it all really starts with the trust itself. So the trust that's offered from Unity is going to protect those dollars. So we're going to take a single premium. I'm just going to say it's $15,000 because that's typically what we do here in our agency. We're going to show them how we're going to get it 100% protected from a Medicaid spend down. It's not subject to a 5-year look back period by Medicaid. Then that policy is going to be irrevocably assigned to the Unity Financial Life Delaware Trust. Now, when I say irrevocably, anytime I'm selling one of these plans to a client, I tell them this plan is irrevocable. When we put this money in there and it goes in the trust, you can't cash it in. Don't call me to borrow off of it. None of those things. And in all the years, almost 15 now that we've been using this product in our business, I've never once had a client call and ask me one of those questions, because this is money set aside irrevocably to take care of someone's funeral when they pass away. They're going to get a simple growth rate declared by the insurance company. Don't get caught up on the interest rate. This is not about growing the money. This is about protecting the asset. What'll happen is that funeral home or that mortuary will be paid first. Any remaining money has to come back to the estate of the insured, and then it's going to be protected from the nursing home, any long-term care facility and creditors, and the policy benefits, because it is life insurance, are going to pay out 100% tax-free. So there's a lot of things that we're looking for to get the boxes checked with this program. And I'm not going to read this to you, but I'm going to let you take a look at it here real quick. You can see that everything that we're looking to get a yes for, we can do it with this product. There's not one other thing out there that's going to give us a yes in every column to do this type of planning versus a traditional savings instrument. So the safety and security, again, 100% of the monies are in that irrevocable funeral trust, and they're going to be there when you need them. The advantage of using a life insurance company for this program instead of going to a funeral home and prepaying, I don't care where you live. I see we have a lot of people on the webinar, so you're probably all over the country. Get on your Google machine and put in there, funeral director misappropriates prepay money. A lot of, and I'm not saying every funeral home and every funeral director, but you can find story after story where the money was mismanaged and wasn't even there when the clients needed the most. That's why we want to use the insurance company. We want to know that that money is going to be there when we need it, no questions, no concerns. It's portable. So if you go prepay here in Columbus, Ohio at Shettinger Funeral Home, and your kids and grandkids decide they're moving to Florida to take a new job, and you don't have any other reason to be here, you want to be with them, and you move, well, now you've prepaid at a place here in Columbus, and maybe that's not where you want your funeral now. Maybe you want to be buried in Florida. With this plan, it doesn't matter. You're not picking a funeral home. You can take this anywhere you want to take it. And again, because you're not choosing that funeral service or merchandise ahead of the time of need, it gives you the flexibility to be able to do that at any point down the road if that's what you choose to do. Oops, sorry about that. Let's get back here. And then again, it's available immediately. The money gets to the funeral home within 48 hours. Why is that important? I'm going to tell you. I lost my mom on July 28th. And they wanted, before they would do anything at all, we had to pay the opening and closing for the gravesite. That was the very first meeting. You had to pay that. That's the nice thing about this. The money will get over there to the funeral home quickly, and that way the spouse or the kids don't have to worry with it. So in its basic form, here's how it works. We're gonna buy a life insurance policy. Let's say it's $15,000. That $15,000 life policy will go into a life plan. Once that plan is issued, then that policy is going to get assigned to the irrevocable funeral trust. Once it's in that irrevocable funeral trust, it's going to earn a simple interest rate. It's going to sit there till the time of need. And again, that'll be when the client passes away. What we do here at Inting Financial, because we've had a lot of people pass away with these, we call the funeral home where they're going to be. We get the contact person's name. We get their fax number. We call Unity. We give them that information, and then they send the claim directly to the funeral home, and we're out of that process. They're taking care of that for us, which makes it nice. So there's two different trusts that they offer. One is the Irrevocable Funeral Trust. You can put up in Ohio, you can put up to $15,000 in there, and it's immediately excluded from your estate. So if you got a married couple, you could get $30,000 protected immediately. It's going to be an exempt asset by Medicaid. There's no 5-year look back period. Again, they're going to pay the funeral costs first, with any excess paid to the estate of the insured. What I recommend clients to do is to put the $15,000 in there if they're having a traditional funeral, because we feel, based on the cost of the funeral, they're not going to have any problem spending $15,000. Now, the other side of the fence is the Unity Estate Planning Trust. This one you can put up to $85,000 in, or $100,000 if you're not using an irrevocable funeral trust. So it's a total of $100,000 between the two trusts. After 5-year look back period, it will be excluded from any type of a Medicaid spend down process. They're going to assign that policy to the trust. They'll pay the benefits to the funeral home from the trust if that's where we're wanting to get it paid from. But then we can have that money that's left over paid back directly to a named beneficiary. So when I speak at the IAMS academies that we're having here in a couple weeks, and I go through this program, inevitably I will get one of the agents to ask me, well, John, that's great, but when do I use, which trust do I use? When do I use it? So this will maybe give you a better idea on that. The funeral expense trust is great for crisis planning. I work with an elder law attorney down the street. If he's trying to get somebody qualified for Medicaid on October 1st, he may call me, hey, we're in crisis mode. We need you to get down here and write 2 of these trusts for us and get $30,000 off the table. Maybe you're dealing with clients who are paying their own way right now for care. Maybe a spouse is in the nursing home and they're looking at their assets being depleted and they're going, wow, I may have to ask for Medicaid here within 5 years because we're going through all of our money. Well, great, let's get some of that money protected while we can and put it into the funeral expense trust. And then a lot of times, I do a lot of public seminars and in-office wealth appointments. And, these are new clients and we will ask them, have you prepaid your funeral? If they say no, well, we're going to show them how to get that money put away and know that that money is protected. Now, sometimes that won't be a big deal to a client, the funeral expense trust. Maybe they've already prepaid over at the funeral home and they have that part taken care of. Then my next question would be to them, do you have any money that you would like to go to a church, a charity, or your children, and that you would like to know that 5 years from now, no matter what happens, that money can't be taken from a nursing home, by a nursing home? And that's where the estate planning trust comes in. That's where we're going to get our bigger deals, because we're going to put that money in there with the client understanding it does have a 5-year look back period. But as we all know, I like to break it into months. 60 months goes quickly, and we can get them through that period of time and allow them to pass those assets down to the children or charities. If they get sick and go in a nursing home, that money cannot be touched, which makes it really nice. We have several of those plans we've done over the years now. Our clients are through the 5-year look back period, and they love knowing that that money is protected. So the product that we use to fund the trust is really just a simplified single premium life insurance policy. Now, it's not like one you're used to. If you've ever sold single premium, if you give the insurance company $15,000, they may give you $25,000 in death benefit, and then you've got, 10 or 15,000 in cash value laying in your contract. This does not work that way because we're trying to protect the money. What's going to happen is if we put that $15,000 in, they may start with $15,050 of death benefit. And then they're going to get that interest rate that's, it's simple interest. It's not a lot, but it will grow the money. Again, you need to point out to your clients, this is not about growing the money. This is about protecting the money. I can't stress that enough to you. With the estate planning trust, you can see over there, we've got that maximum issue. Again, we can go up to 100,000 if we're not combining it with a funeral trust, but it gives them that option of protection for money and knowing that that money is going to be protected down the road. So when we talk about the irrevocable funeral trust death benefit, again, we're going to get that policy issued. They're going to bump up that death benefit for us. And then that trust, that money is going to go into the trust, and it's going to get that growth factor in there. And then that money is going to sit there until your clients pass away and need the funds. Here's their growth rates. You can see the estate trust growth rate and what the ages are and the percentage. And then again, you can see the funeral trust. I'm going to point something out. Let's just talk about the funeral trust for a minute for ages 10 to 80. If you have somebody that says to you, my daughter knows I have money in a savings account or a CD at the bank to take care of my final expenses, well, number one, I know 0.25% doesn't sound like much, but I bet you're pretty much in line with what they're getting on their money at the bank. The difference is you're taking it from a position of being able to be spent down if you need care, and you're moving it to a position of safety. I can't stress that enough, that you stress that with your potential clients. Now, if you don't like paperwork, you're going to absolutely love this application. I sold my first annuity back in 1993 to a guy that owned a dry cleaner in Marion, Ohio. A couple things happened that day. Number one, I couldn't believe somebody would let me walk out with a $25,000 check from anywhere. And then number two was when I did his annuity application, it was 3 pages, and that third page was the receipt that I had to leave with them. If you're doing annuities, if you're doing life insurance, if you're doing long-term care in your practice, these applications now can be 30, 35 pages long. And with this particular application, it's very simple. There we go. There's the front page of the application. So you can see it's very, very simple. They're just going to sign this application with you. Once they've signed that application, they're going to also sign off that the money is going to be transferred into the funeral trust 30 days after it's issued. Now, if you see down here on the bottom, that immediate transfer, that would be if that attorney called me and said, hey, we're trying to get them qualified October 1st. I can't wait 30 days for that money to be put into that funeral trust. Can we waive the 30 days and get it put in there immediately? We absolutely can do that for a client if they're in some type of crisis planning. Now, what does it pay for? Well, you can see on here, it pays for just about everything that you can think of that you would need for a funeral. So again, don't be afraid to put the $15,000 in there for a client if they're going to do a traditional funeral. Trust me, you are going to be able to use all of that money and not worry about any being paid back to the estate of the insured. So because we have so many people on here from all over the place, I'll put this listing up here for you, because these funeral trust limits can be different by state. You can see that the majority of them are $15,000. But let's go down to Nebraska here. That's actually where IAMS is located at. So Insurance Agency Marketing Services is in Nebraska. If I'm dealing with an agent in Nebraska and he says to me, well, John, I can only put $4,978 into the Irrevocable Funeral Trust and get it excluded immediately, and the funeral is going to be $15,000, or that's what the client wants to put away, what do? Well, it's real simple. Take the balance of that money, put the $4,978 in the Irrevocable Funeral Trust. Let's get that excluded immediately. Then put that difference, that $10,000, into the estate planning trust. Yes, it has a 5-year look back period, but at least you're getting it in there and getting the clock started. If you don't do that for the client, you're essentially leaving that $10,000 hanging out there, and it's going to have to be spent down if they need some type of care. So go ahead and use a combination of the two. And what if you're in a state where you can't do anything into an irrevocable funeral trust? You're in Michigan, or as we call it here, that team up north. Then use the estate planning trust. Give them a chance to get through the 5 years and protect those funds. So when you're presenting it to clients, I had a really good mentor in this business, and one of the things that he told me was, anytime that you have something that's new to you, if you have a client base, go do annual reviews with those clients, because here's why. When you go in to see those clients, they already like you, they've already said yes to you, they already do business with you, and they trust you. And so if I were going to go in, I may go in and say, oh, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, I want to let you know that, I've taken some training on some planning that we've implemented into our company. I want to ask you a question. Have you prepaid your funeral? If they say no, they've just opened the door for you to really give them some help and to have a very profitable annual review with those clients. So again, I would start working with my clients, and then I would definitely know how to present that funeral trust. I'd stress those benefits of planning ahead. I'd tell them how it can be used with any funeral home in the country. You don't have to pick one today. You don't have to go pick out your caskets and all that stuff. And then this is a big overlook by agents in our business. The 1035 exchange of existing life insurance. Let me tell you what I mean. If you have a client who has a paid up life insurance policy that has 12,000 of death benefit and 10,000 of cash value, your clients don't understand when they die, they don't get both those numbers. They get whatever's bigger. So if they have 10,000 in cash value and the death benefit is 12,000, essentially they've got 2,000 of death benefit, because that other 10,000 is their money. It is the cash in the policy. So what we say to our clients is, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, you can keep doing it the way you're doing it. If you get sick and you need care, they're going to make you spend down this life insurance cash value. Or if this is to be used for your final expenses, why don't we take the 10,000, 1035 exchange it into the Unity Funeral Trust and get the 10,000 protected? Yeah, we're losing 2,000 of death benefit, but would we rather want to do that today or risk the 10,000 being gone tomorrow? So again, don't overlook the 1035 exchange on those old paid up policies. They can be really valuable to you. And then again, we all get paid to close. As long as you know what you're doing when you walk in, it's a simple product to learn. You're going to give them that peace of mind of planning ahead and helping them to protect some assets in the household. So where do I find the money? Here's the beautiful thing. When we talk to a client about this, we will tell them, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, if you think about it, you're not buying anything today. I mean, they're really not. They're taking money they already have and they're moving it from their right pocket and they're moving it to their left pocket to get protection on the money. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a good thing for a client. So if a client says to me, my daughter knows I have a CD, and this has happened, my daughter knows I have a CD at the bank, and that's to be used for my funeral when I die. Well, great. Do you want to leave it out there where it can have to go to a nursing home in the event you get ill? Or would you like to know that money's protected and put it over here in the funeral trust, since you said you're not going to use it till you die anyway? So again, the money's there. We just have to be a little bit more aggressive and ask for the money. Now, marketing materials, I will tell you that Unity does a fantastic job with their marketing pieces. They are written in layman's terms. So you could go in and talk to a client, and this has happened with me. Went in and talked to a client. The client was an annuity client of mine, and I went through the plan with them. It was about an $80,000 1035 exchange of some existing life insurance into these plans. And when I was done, they said, John, you know, that all sounds great, and we love what you're trying to help us with. But as you well know, we don't make any decisions on the day we hear about stuff. We like to sleep on it. And I said to them, well, as you know, with me, I don't mind you sleeping on it, but I'm going to call you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. I'm going to leave you this brochure. I want you to read through it. I just want a decision from you. You either want to do it or you don't, because this is that simple. True story, the next morning at 9 o'clock, I'm sitting in my office, my phone rings, it's a client. We slept on it, we read the brochure again, let's get the appointment set and get the deal done, which is what we did with them. So again, a lot of great marketing materials, leave behinds that they make available to you to help the client. To me, this is one of the most important things you can do. My mentor always told me that whenever I sold something in a house, leave the client a task. Why? Keep them engaged. Keep them till you can get back with a contract. You don't want their mind wandering. You don't want buyer's remorse. You don't want any of that. So what we do is we leave them this planning guide. Now, I'm not going to go deep into the planning guide, but it's very simple. We tell the clients to fill it out before we come back, that we're going to put their contract with it. And I will tell you this, had my dad had this, I could have walked into the funeral home that day in 2011, handed the funeral director this document and the policy, and I would never have had to answer a question in the funeral director's office. So again, it's just you helping your clients get their affairs in order, and those are made available to you from Unity to give to your clients. They're a very nice document. Their agent portal, you can go on there and order supplies. You can look up your commissions. You know, you can do just about anything you would expect to be able to do on a website. If you need any support, you can call them directly. Even their top management will talk to you. You can go all the way up to the president of the company, and they will actually have a conversation with you if that's what you needed. So again, every one of your clients, I showed you the stats, they're thinking about it, they need it, it's a great income opportunity. The trusts are free. The elder law attorney down the street does a lot of this planning. You got to write him a check for $7,500 to get the party started, and then that cost goes up from there. Again, we're going to give them a way to protect a limited amount of assets for basically no fees. The funds are portable. It gives your clients that peace of mind. And if you don't like doing paperwork, you're going to love the program. Oh, and on top of that, I know that we do like to get paid for what we do. So it does have a great commission structure. And what you need to be doing is asking your clients if they have prepaid their funeral. So if you just had two couples each month, and you went in and did, you know, you could do 15,000 on each of them because they're both going to die at some point. And you only did that 10 months out of the year, you could add at least $60,000 to your annual bottom line. And it is not that difficult. Let's say that you only did half of that and you added 30,000 to your bottom line. That's 2,500 a month. That's office expenses. So again, it has value for the client. It also has value for you as the agent. So I'm going to look at this 66 to 70 here. Let's just say you went in and you did an annual review and you wrote 15,000 on the husband and wife. You just made $4,000 for doing a couple things. Number one, helping your client with something they didn't even know was a problem and protecting assets. And number two, getting paid for doing what you should be doing in your business, which is doing reviews with your clients. And it's a great opportunity to be excited about going out to do the review and knowing you have opportunity to not only help them, but to generate revenue for your business. So your first 30 days with Unity, you can see here, anything you issue over $25,000 face amount, they'll write you a $200 bonus check for that. All of your production also will count towards the IAMS sales conferences, the sales conference, not the Athene, but the other one, your production will count towards that. So remember, your clients, they believe in it. They think it's a great idea. You need to stress those benefits of pre-planning because they're not even thinking about it right now. And don't forget to ask every client, every day, every time, whether it's a new client or old client, have you prepaid your funeral? So again, these are just some frequently asked questions. When do I get paid? They pay commissions weekly on a Tuesday. Again, we all know what cash with app is. Has my business been issued? You can go on Unity link and you can follow your business, as well as having IAMS behind the scene following it from submission to commission for you. So you have, like I said earlier, you have direct access to all company management. You can have direct access to all marketing brochures, and then again, that convenient online portal to be able to run your business effectively. So as we're wrapping up here, I'm going to tell you a little story about this guide for beneficiaries that we developed in our business. I'll tell you why we developed it, and we'll tell you how we can make that available for you. So just a quick story. I had a client who I'd written a $500,000 annuity on. She'd been a client for 4 or 5 years. Her daughter was the sole beneficiary. Mom died. I got a call from the daughter. I said, hey, you need to get through the funeral, get through all that stuff, and then we need to get together. We have this $500,000 annuity that's going to be coming to you from your mom. And she said, oh, John, don't worry about it. I've already talked to the guy at the bank, and that guy's going to handle everything for us. So we're just, we know him, and we're going to use that for everything. And that irked me because I'd worked hard to get that case, and what I saw was a $500,000 leaving my agency. So I developed this guide for beneficiaries. And what we did is we went out, we took it to every client, we collected all new financial data on the client. Over a 6-month period, we wrote $1.5 million of annuity premium, 200,000 in single premium life, traditional single premium life, and about 150,000 in funeral trust. And so it's not because we're the smartest guys in Ohio. It's because we had this process to go out and walk our clients back through and show them that we had value other than just selling things. So this is what it looks like, our version. Once you license with Unity through IAMS, they will make this available to you so that if you want to use it, you can certainly put your company information on it. But you can see here, it's very direct. We want them calling us when someone passes away. In October of last year, so almost a year ago, we had a client call us that lives in Pennsylvania. Her dad died. She had this booklet in front of her. Long story short, for us, we did $1 million in new business in one appointment with the client. And it was because we believe we had this guide in there, and that's the first phone call that they made was to us. So again, there's a letter in there where we're thanking them for their business. We're telling them, this is what we do. When someone passes away, we can help walk you through the settlement process. In the booklet, which I don't have all the pages, there are letters to Social Security, to credit card companies, to pension companies. So because there's things that have to be done, this whole booklet walks the beneficiary through everything that needs to be done. And several times in there, it says your first task is to set an appointment with Inting Financial Services. So again, we're trying to harness the assets and not let them leave the company. This is the organizer that we went out with. It's amazing because you think you know everything about your clients. At least I thought I did. And as we went through these, it would not be unusual for someone to say, well, yeah, I forgot I had that old 401k that we never did anything with. And so there was a lot of good opportunity for us going out and doing this. And I want to get to this page here. If you see question 8, have you prepaid your funeral? Yes or no? If they tell us no, we're not going to launch into a sales pitch, but we're definitely circling the wagon. And if they tell us that they already have, do you have any money that you would like to know could possibly be protected from a nursing home spend down in the event that you would get ill? And then if they say, well, yeah, that's interesting, then we're going to talk to them about the estate planning trust. So again, these documents are available to you once you're licensed through IAMS with Unity. There's a notes page on the back, and it's really that simple. And Jess, at this point, if we have any questions or anything, I'd be more than happy to take a few minutes to answer them.
Okay. Yeah, if anybody has any questions, please post them now. I do have one question, and I don't know if it's specific to this gentleman who's on Medicaid already, has a property selling for $500,000. Just trying to figure out what some planning we can do there. That's probably a more detailed question that we'll address on a phone call. So if you guys have any other specific questions around the Unity Funeral Trust, please go ahead and type those in now. And while we are doing that, I'm not seeing any come through there. Generally, John, will be some questions on the back end, so we'll certainly get those over to everybody and make sure we get you answered. I do appreciate you hopping on, Mr. Enting. Certainly appreciate that. I do want for everybody that's on to hang on for just one more second here. I do have a couple of poll questions I want to run through with you, and just kind of make sure we're getting good information from you guys on our webinars and the content. So the first one is going to pop up now. Should be distributing out. You should show that here on your screen shortly. It's asking if you're currently contracted and doing business with IAMS in any way, shape, or form, whether that's annuity, life, LTC, DI, funeral trust. So please get your answers in on that for us. We'll give it another few seconds. I did have one other question pop up. If a copy of the webinar is going to be available, it is. We will always record those. We do have a YouTube channel, so we can certainly get a copy out to anybody that's interested. So I got another couple of questions here. So another one coming out here. Should pop up on your screen in just a moment. And it's basically asking, could this product meet the needs of any of your current clients? Based on all the great information that Mr. Enting covered, I am going to assume the answer should be yes for a lot of you, but let's find out for sure. Give that another couple seconds here. Okay. And then last one, guys. Everything that we've gone over here with this great product, the next poll question that should be popping up here in just a second is, do you want to get contracted with Unity? Is this a carrier that you want to get set up with? My answer should be yes. I mean, I think if you're dealing with any clients at all of them have had thoughts, or at least will have thoughts on preparing for their funeral expenses. And so I think this is a product that you absolutely should have on hand. Give just a couple more seconds here. Okay. All right. Well, I will close by saying certainly appreciate Mr. John Enting from Enting Financial Services jumping on and going through this excellent solution here. We'll have more of these in the future, but I think the main takeaway is talk to your clients about it. Ask the question of what they've done for their funeral planning, or if there's some planning they want to do in order to qualify for Medicaid. These are extremely important but easy questions to answer. And as you can see from John's presentation, you can make a good amount of commission with not a lot of legwork on it. So I encourage you to give us a call with any clients that you have that could be a fit here. If there are any additional questions that you have, please feel free to call us at 800-255-5055. Ask for any of the life sales directors. I do want to thank everybody for coming on. And John, thank you again for taking some time out of your day. I know you're busy. Certainly appreciate you coming on and showing the value of this product for us.
Thanks, Jess, and I appreciate everybody sticking around to listen.
All right. All right, everybody. We'll have a great Monday, and we'll look forward to talking with you all very soon. Thank you.